Hello, hello students. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I hope that in last lecture that you have already understood the concept of KNN classification and the naive Bayes classification. And I hope that all of you have already revised those two classifier concepts. Okay. So if you feel any kind of doubts or any kind of question, then you can ask me at any time in your common group or in a mail. You can ask me, or if you think that any specific topic regarding the previous lecture that I need to discuss or repeat it again, then you can do it that thing. Okay. So today my main objective is to discuss with you another important classifier that you can say the third classifier as per the curriculum or as per the syllabus of your data mining and warehousing. That classifier name is rule based learning classifier, or more specifically you can say it is a decision tree classifier or decision tree induction classifier. Okay, so can anyone tell me, have you covered the decision tree in your pattern recognition class? Have you covered it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have already covered decision tree.
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you covered random forest and support vector machines classifiers?
No, sir.
No,
sir.
Okay. So actually, random forest is an extension part of the decision tree classification. Okay. So if you won't understand decision tree classifier clearly, then it will be difficult for you to understand random forest. Random forest is an extension, or you can say an upgraded version of a decision tree. When multiple decision trees are working together, and collectively we are taking the advantages of individual decision tree, and collectively we will give the results more accurately compared to decision tree, then it is called random forest. Okay, forest means collection of decision trees. So multiple decision trees are working and giving their best to create a random forest classification. Okay, so that's why decision tree is important to learn the random forest. So let's start with the discussion. So before decision tree, I would like to tell you about the rule based learning. Actually, rule based learning decision tree is actually this rule based learning or decision tree is actually part of divide and conquer classification. Okay, as all of you are aware about the divide and conquer, because you have already have that analysis of algorithm subject, and you are very much aware about the divide and conquer type of algorithms like merge sort or other kind of shorts which actually follow the divide and conquer approaches. So this decision tree and rule based learning is also follows and divide and conquer approaches. So theoretical point of view, if we represent the same concepts in theoretical point of view, then it is called rule based learning. Okay, which is a theoretical representation. And if we represent the same similar kind of concepts in pictorial or graphical point of view, especially on with the help of tree like structure, tree based structure, then it is called decision tree. So rule-based learning and decision tree more or less the similar concepts, but one is actually theoretical representation, another one is actually a graphical, or you can say not graphical, it's tree-like based structure representation, pictorial representation, you can say. Okay. So rule-based classifier is actually applying this divide and conquer strategy to divide the entire data into smaller number of portions or into smaller partitions to identify patterns, and that can helps to predict futures. Okay, or that can helps to do future predictions. So this is a rule based learning, and rule based machine learning method represents knowledge in the form of logical structures which are particularly useful for any kind of business strategy or any kind of making business important decisions. Okay, and rule based classifier is generally based on the concept of if then rules. If then rules, let me share the screen. So this is a rule-based. I think this screen is visible to everyone. This is a rule-based classifiers theoretical representation. So I already told the rule-based classifier model is represented as a set of if-then rules. Okay. So if followed by a condition and then followed by a conclusion. So this if-then rules is very much similar with the if-then branching statement, one branching strategy that you have learned in several programming languages, right? So if then rules means if, then we will provide a condition. Condition means a preconditions, you can say, and based on that precondition statement, we can decide some sort of conclusion, or we can take some sort of decision. Okay, so as for example of how we can write a rule based statement to do some sort of predictions. Okay, so if these two are the features that we are taking care of here, one is age feature, another one is blood pressure. Age and blood pressure. Okay, these two features are there, and based on the age of a person or of a patient and the blood pressure of a patient, we can decide it that whether the patient has a heart attack or yes or not. That means the binary classification, whether the patient has a probability to get a heart attack or not, yes or no, that we will decide based on two features or two attributes. One is age of the patient, another one is blood pressure of the patient, right? So age, if the patient age is old, and this and is actually logical connectives, right? So in case of rule based learning, there are various kinds of logical connectives are there, like and, or. The most common and useful connectives are and or. Okay, so you can either use a symbol instead of and. So this and, instead of and keyword, in some of the books you will get this symbol. This is for the and operations, and just opposite of this symbol, the opposite of this symbol is actually the or operations. Okay, and these are called logical connectives. Okay, so you can either use this word, or you can go for the symbols. Okay, so this and actually connects two features or two attributes together along with their values. So the age of the patient is old and the blood pressure of the patient is high, then the patient has a probability, or we can say the high probability for a heart attack. That means the heart attack should be yes. So this is the theoretical representation of any if-then conditions in a rule-based learning model. Okay, so these are the two parameters based on which you can calculate the quality of the rule-based learning classification. One is the coverage parameter, another one is the accuracy parameter. One is coverage, another one is accuracy. That means you are going to calculate the quality of your rule-based classification model, or you can say the performance of your rule-based classification model. So coverage means, which is nothing but a fraction of n coverage divided by mod d. What is n coverage? N coverage is the total number of tuples covered by this rule. Suppose your data types, or your input data sets has suppose 100 tuples, right? Suppose 100 tuples. So among these 100 tuples, if you apply the rule based classification, suppose among these 100 tuples, total 80 tuples has satisfied or have satisfied this rule based classification technique. So your n coverage will be 80. That means the supported or the positive response from the tuples based on the rule that you have applied for the particular data sets. Okay, so 80 and divided by your total number of tuples. What D means the total number of tuples present in your input data set. So that is 100. So 80 divided by 100, that means 0.8. That means 80% is the probability, or you can say 80% is the value of your coverage. And from this coverage, you can calculate the accuracy. Accuracy is nothing but a n corrected tuples. That means how many tuples you are correctly classified. Okay, by the help of your classifier, divided by total n coverage, means total number of coverage tuples. So suppose among these 80 coverage tuples, suppose your model is able to correctly classify suppose 50%. Okay, among the 80 tuples, suppose the guessing of your model, or the prediction of your model is satisfied for 50% of the tuple. That means 40 tuples. So 40 by 80 is your accuracy. Okay, that is half is equivalent to 50% is your accuracy. Okay, so these are the two parameters, or two you can say the measurements by the help of which you can measure the quality or the performance of your rule based classifiers, right? So this is some of the examples I have already shown here. So this is the small data set has been given to you. Okay, and the patient will has a heart attack or not. So this is the class level or target level. Okay, which is a binary classification. So there are only two values. One is no, another one is yes. That means the patient has a heart attack or the patient has not heart attack. Okay, and it based on the measure of this age and blood pressure, these two features or these two attributes, right? So suppose within these two attributes, based on this above rule, if you apply this above rule, so how many which attribute, how many attributes has been satisfied on this above rule? Can anyone tell me? If age is equal to old and blood pressure equal to high, then heart attack equal to yes. That is the rule that you have specified in your rule-based classifier model, right? So based on that rule, when your classifier checking these input data sets, among these 4 tuples, how many tuples has satisfied this condition? What do you think? Age equal to old and blood pressure equal to high. Age equal to old and blood pressure equal to high. How many tuples has satisfied this condition? What do you think? Only the last tuple? That age equal to old and high, blood pressure equal to high. So your n coverage, this n coverage will be that 1 out of 4, because there are total 4 tuples. So mod d will be 4 and n cov will be 1. So 1 by 4 will be your coverage rule. So that is 25%. Okay, and among within this coverage 1, you are correctly classify 1 tuple. So that's why 1 by 1 is your accuracy. That is 100%. Actually, 100% accuracy will never achieved for the real life data sets, or you can say for for in practice or in practical world, it is not possible to achieve a 100% accuracy. But I have considered here very small data sets, okay, which has only 4 tuples. So that's why you have achieved this 100% accuracy. But in actual, in practical life, it is not possible. So this is overall the rule-based discussion of rule-based classifier, if-then rules or if-then classifier. Okay. Now, if we convert this entire thing into a tree-based flowchart-like tree structure, then it is called a decision tree induction classification. Decision tree induction classification. Why it is called decision tree? Because based on that tree-like flowchart structure, you are able to get any decision, or you are able to achieve any decision, whether a decision means in terms of associated with terms of dependent variable, or you can say the target variable. Okay, that is yes or no. So you can make any decision. So as for a simple example I have given here, the person loves romantic song. This is the statement that you have provided in your root node, and based on this statement you can take either 2 decisions. If the statement is true, then we can say the person is awesome, and if the statement is false, then we can say the person is slightly less than awesome. Okay, so it's a only a small, very small decision tree with 2 branches, very small decision tree with 2 branches, and these are the final decisions. Okay, and here I have represented the decision in the form of enter statement. Okay, now the thing is that this is another little bit complicated tree compared to the previous tree. So in this decision making statement, so based on your appetite ranking, what you should do with your eating habit, that is the representation of this tree. What I have told, based on your appetite ranking, what you should do with your eating habit, that is the major concern of this second kind of decision tree. So appetite rank equal to 1. If you have an appetite rank 1, that is a true. If you have this appetite rank equal to 1, that means if this statement satisfy, then you can say you need to eat. You need to eat. Okay, aro khete hobe. Now, if the statement false, that means you don't have an appetite rank equal to 1, you have an appetite rank equal to 2. So if this is false and if this is true, then maybe it's time for a snack, because your appetite is almost full. So maybe it is a time for a snack. And if both the appetite rank is false for your case, that means you are not achieved appetite rank 1 as well as appetite rank 2, then you have no need to eat. তোমার পুরো অ্যাপেটাইটটা ফুল আছে, you don't have any space to eat, not even snacks. So this is these green color boxes are actually decisions. That's why I've made it different color. These green color boxes are decisions. That's why I've made it different color. And these condition checking boxes are this one, blue color. So I think you can make a similarity, or you can match the similarity between if-then rules or rule-based learning classifier with this decision tree. Because in rule-based learning classifier, there are 2 concepts: if condition, then conclusion. So here, if condition will be measured in the blue color boxes, and then conclusion will be given in the green color box. Clear? Up to this, anyone has any question? You can ask me. Anyone has any doubt? Any question? Anyone has any question? Any doubt? No doubt? Give me any response. Then I will move.
No, sir. No, sir.
It
Yes,
is
sir,
clear
you
to
will
everyone. Okay, the theory টা আমি খুব বেশি
Yes.
ডিটেইলসে যাচ্ছি না. It's you can go for the theory that divide and conquer approach, decision tree. I'm just intended to tell you about the actual working of the decision tree and how we can make a decision, how we can make a future prediction based on that decision tree. I'm just going to discuss that thing. Okay. Now, this decision tree I have given to you in front of you. The question mark will represent the you can say the condition checking classes, and this decision tree I have given to you. It is a little bit more complex compared to the previous two trees. So according to this decision tree, so it is actually a loan sanction, or you can say the probability of getting loans of a customer that will be checking based on the various feature of the customer. The first feature and the root feature. This is a root node of a tree. This is a root node. I think all of you have a concept of a tree structure, tree-like graphical structure, and which is a root node. These are the branches. These are the sub nodes, or you can say the intermediate nodes, and these are the leaf nodes. So according to the decision tree, the root node and the sub nodes, or you can say the root node and the intermediate node, are represents various kind of conditions. The branches are represents the various kinds of decisions. You can say not decision, you can say the decision flow, the flow of the decisions. Okay. And the last, the leaf node. Okay, the terminal nodes are represents the actual decision making strategies. Okay, yes, no, good, bad, like this. Okay. So but till now I am showing whatever data I am showing, that is on a categorical data. Okay, whatever example I have showing in decision tree, that is applicable on categorical kind of data. Okay, it is also applicable for continuous valued data. Okay, or numeric values of data which is continuous in range, and these are the discrete values data which I am showing right now. So age, that means the age of a customer. So I have divided the age of a customer into two parts, right? So mostly decision trees are binary trees. Okay, mostly these decision trees are considered as binary trees, but sometimes it can be considered as more than the binary trees. But in most cases, when there's a binary classification, we will go for the binary trees, the decision trees. Okay, and right now you don't need to focus on multi-class classification or multi targets classification, because for this data warehousing and mining subject, it will be better to understand the binary class classification for the time being. Okay. So age, the age of a customer, if the customer age is young, okay, then I have divided the age of a customer into two classes. One is young class, and another one is mid-age or senior class, right? So let's take the left-hand side first. So if the age of a customer is young, then we will check the CIBIL score of the customer. If the CIBIL score of the customer is good, then we will check the income of the customer. And if the income of the customer is high, then we will say that the customer has a good probability to get a loan. Clear? Then the customer has a good probability to get a loan. So these are the three if condition and conditions. If age equal to young, and CIBIL score equal to good, and income equal to high. So you can compare with if then rule based classification with this tree. So if we represent this entire tree in the form of theoretical structure, then it will be equivalent to a if then condition or rule based classification, right? So if age equal to young and is a logical connective, CIBIL score equal to good, and income equal to high, then we can say that there is a good probability, a good chance that the person will get a house loan or get a personal loan, right? Now the other condition, if the age is young and if the CIBIL score is bad, but income is high or income is low, whatever it is, if income is high or low, actually it has a poor chance to get a, because CIBIL score is bad. Actually this low, I think this arrow is wrong. I think this low will be in that case. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think there's a mistake of this arrow. It should not be good according to logic. So you can, if you make it good, then you will have to write your rule accordingly. Okay, but generally logically it is not correct, because if the age is young and CIBIL score is bad, income is low, then this is a probability of poor. Okay, instead of good. And here, if the income is high, then there is a probability of getting a loan. That is a good probability. So it becomes good. Okay. So in this way, you can take multiple decisions. Okay, in this way, so dotted line means in this way you can increase the size of the tree and you can take multiple decisions, right? Now the question is that if a data set has been given to you with a target class or a dependent variable and a set of independent variables, which are nothing but attributes or features, then how you are going to get an approach and how you are drawing this decision tree. You cannot draw this decision tree by assuming this attribute will be the root, this attribute will be the leaf nodes, and this attribute will be the intermediate nodes. You are not able to do any kind of guessing during the decision tree structure making. Okay, there is some strategy that we need to follow to make a good decision tree structure. So decision tree classifier is very popular and it is very simple to implement, and the most suitable thing is that decision tree classifier is suitable to handle high dimensional data. Okay, that KNN is not suitable to handle high dimensional data, whereas decision tree is suitable to handle high dimensional data. Okay, so there are several kinds of decision trees are available in the market. Various kinds of decision tree, like CART, C-A-R-T. CART is a decision tree. Then ID3. These are decision tree, another kind of decision tree. Then C4.5. This is another kind of decision trees. Okay, so there are major three kinds of decision trees are available. Look, I mean, I have already written here ID3, C4.5, and this CART, classification and regression trees. Okay, so I have sent the code for you where I have used this CART model. Okay, the code which I have already sent uploaded into Google Classroom. In that code, I have used this CART model. So you can use any one of this kind of decision tree algorithm according to your choice and according to your application. Okay, right. So the complexity decision tree is a little bit complex. In terms of complexity, it is not good. It is not good as KNN and as naive Bayes. Okay, in terms of time complexity, I think you can understood. But the thing is that whether we are using a binary tree logic to implement a decision tree, that's why this log concept comes here. Okay, log of mod t, where mod t is the dimension for the entire data set. Okay, so this computational complexity, I think you should check it out. Okay, you can devise it out. Now, as I already discussed that the main aim is to do a classification of any given data sets, that we have to first apply our classification algorithms, okay, to build our classifier model on the training data sets. These are training data. And I have told the entire data sets, I have actually divided 80:20 ratio or 70:30 ratio to become a training data set and testing data set respectively. Right? In the last class, I extensively discussed this thing. Right? So from the main data sets, suppose this data sets is a training data set which I have actually cut it from 80% or 90 or 70% from the actual data sets, and on that training data set we actually apply our classification algorithm or classifier model. And this is you can understand these are if then, that means we actually applying the decision tree logic here or rule based learning classifier here, and then we will train our model according to that rule based classifier or decision tree classifier. Okay, now on the testing data set we will apply the trained model. This classifier is our trained classifier. Okay, so this classifier is in this phase we are actually training our classifier. We have given training our classifier, and in the testing phase or validation checking phase or prediction phase, we actually use our trained model to do the prediction or to do the validation checking. Right? So these are unseen data has been given to you, and these are testing data. So based on the testing data, you can take a decisions whether it is yes or no. These are binary classes has been used for no and yes, so you can check it out, or you can also apply the same classifier model to check the accuracy on the testing data. Testing data is mainly used to check the accuracy of the model. It is very simple as that. Testing data or validation data is mainly used to check the accuracy or the measurement or quality of your model. Training data is mainly used to train the model, and testing data is mainly used to check the accuracy or qualification of the model. So instead of you are using the testing data to check the quality of the model, you can also use unseen data to check the quality of the model. Actually, দেখো কোন একটা software, suppose one software has been developed by a company. So without testing, does the company people release the software into the market? কখনোই না. The software must be tested rigorously by a testing team. So in the same way, while you have trained your model, whether your model is correctly working or not, that's why this testing data set is important. Testing data set is given the chance of testing the model, whether it is correctly working or not. The quality of the accuracy of the model or the quality of the measurement of the model, it has been tested on the testing data set. Now, if the testing data set has given you a satisfactory result, suppose it will give an accuracy more than 90%, which is much more satisfied, you are satisfied with the result, then you can apply on an unseen data to get a decision or to get a future prediction. That is the overall concept of any classification algorithm or classification process, right? I think it is clear to you. Now the thing is that there is one more concept that is called attribute selection measure. Attribute selection measure. Listen very carefully. In this concept, attribute selection measure, this is a very, very important concept. In this concept, you are going to learn about some strategy or about some parameters based on which you will take a decision which attribute should be treated as a root node for a particular level of a tree. কি বললাম? Based on this attribute selection measure, you are getting the idea of that at a particular level of the tree, decision tree, which node will be acting like a root node of that level. কারণ আমি এক্ষুনি বললাম, you cannot make a guess that this attribute should be a root node or this attribute should be a root node. You cannot assume it randomly. Then your entire tree structure will fail. Okay, your accuracy of the tree structure will be very, very bad. So that's why the attribute measure selection measure strategies has been introduced. And according to this attribute selection measure strategy, there are three kinds of strategies are available in the market. Okay, I'm going to explicitly discuss one kind of strategy and the rest of the two kind of strategy. Just I'm giving an overall discussion and then you can figure it out at your home, right? So what are the three kinds of strategies? The first kind of strategy is called entropy or information gain. Entropy or information gain. I think those who are familiar with the statistics, they have an idea of entropy or information gain. It is nothing but a measure of uncertainty associated with a random variable. Entropy is nothing but a measure of uncertainty associated with a random variable. So the most basic formula that measures the entropy is this one. Entropy of a variable y, which has some value y1 to up to ym, distinct value it has. Then the entropy can be measured by the help of this expression, summation I equal to 1 to m. M is the total number of different values that the variable have into pi into log of pi. Pi is the probability of getting that particular variable. So pi means yi, the ith value of that y variable. What is the probability of getting that value? So this is the way of how we can calculate the entropy. And the interpretation says that if the entropy is high, then the uncertainty is also high. If the entropy is low, then the uncertainty is also low. Okay. So very basic part. That the first one is entropy and information gain. Second attribute is actually a gain ratio. Second selection measure is gain ratio. And the third selection measure is Gini index, Gini index. Gini index, the third kind of measure. Second kind of measure is gain ratio, GAIN ratio. Okay, RATIO. And the first kind of measure, which is the most popular measure, that is the entropy or information gain. Okay, so I will show you the use, the creation of a tree based on entropy measurement. Now, let's check this example very carefully. So everyone, anyone has any doubt up to this? Any kind of question, any kind of doubt, you can ask me. Then we will go for the example, detailed example of how we can build a decision tree. Anyone has any doubt? Is it clear to everyone that there are total 3 attribute selection strategy based on which you are able to decide which node will be the root node for a particular level in a tree? A statement clear. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everyone looked at this example very, very carefully and minutely. Okay, so this example, now tell me in this data set, suppose this is our training data set. Okay, in this data set, which one is our class level data sets, or target variable or dependent variable, and which are the features or attributes? Tell me. Apart from this data আমি ধরবো না, data is actually for the serial number. Just omit or assume that this variable does not exist. Okay, so we have the total 1 2 3 4 5 total 5 attributes are there in our data set. Okay, and among these 5 attributes, which one is the target variable, dependent variable, or class variable? Tell me the answer. Which one is the class variable?
So play tennis.
Play tennis. Very good. So which type of variable it is? Binary variable, because it has only two kinds of classification, either yes or no. So you can understand that based on the weather structure, you are getting a decision whether we can play tennis or not. Okay, yes or no. So there are 4 kinds of attributes or 4 kinds of features that we have to taken care of here in these data sets. Outlook, okay, outlook of the environment, temperature of the environment, humidity, and winds. So within the outlook, how many variations are there? 3 variations: sunny, overcast, rain. So before you are going to apply any classification algorithm on any data sets, you have to first understood the data sets and the spreadness of the data set very carefully, the basic statistics of the data set very carefully. Okay, you can also measure the mean, standard deviation, this kind of things on this particular data sets has been given to you. Okay, so obviously this is data set which you have seen right now. It's a categorical data sets, right? It is not a numeric, it is a categorical data set which gives some sort of categories, right? And decision tree play a very vital role, or you can say a very effective and efficient role in case of categorical data. Okay, it's very suitable for categorical data. Numeric data jonno kaj kore, but it is very suitable for the categorical data or discrete value data. So temperature is the second attribute or feature, and temperature has three kind of values: hot, mild, and cool, right? Humidity has humidity has 2 kind of value: high and normal. Only 2 kind of value: high and normal. And winds has 2 kind of value: strong and weak. Now based on these 4 features or 4 attributes, our main aim is to making a prediction for the unseen data or for the testing data. So we will consider this entire data set as a training data set. I repeat again, we will consider this entire data set as a training data set. Okay, our data kintu consider korbo na. Why we are not considering day? Because day is only using for the serial numbers. So while you are taking care of these things, Python এর মধ্যে একটা null বলে ফাংশন আছে, একটা null বলে অপারেশন আছে, that you can make the first column by null. Okay, R এর মধ্যে null অপশন দেয়া আছে, Python এর মধ্যে you can delete it physically or you can make it null. Okay, I mean that means you don't need to assume that first attribute or first feature. Now we will follow the first approach, that is entropy and information gain. First kind of attribute selection measure to find out which should be the root node. So এই চারটের মধ্যে কোনটা root node হবে কেউ তো বলতে পারবে না. I think you can't say that among these 4 nodes, suppose you are drawing the tree, so in that tree there should be only one root node. So that root node, whether it is an outlook or a temperature or a humidity or a winds, which one should be the root node? It is not possible to say, or you cannot choose it randomly, then it will give a bad result. So that's why you have to follow any one of these attribute selection measure technique. Okay, so I have already told there are 3 kind of attribute selection measure technique. One is information gain or entropy, which is most popular and widely used. Second one is gain ratio, and third one is Gini index. Gain ratio is medium used, and Gini index is the poor use, because Gini index has several sort of drawbacks. Okay, but most and popularly used is entropy or information gain. And here I am going to explain this ID3 decision tree algorithm here. Okay, so let's check it out. This is the entropy formula. I think all of you know this formula. I already shown you the formula of entropy. Now in the whole data sets, okay, so there are 2 classes: positive class, yes hoche positive class P, and no is a negative class. So here in play tennis there are 2 classes. These are target variable, yes class and no class. So we will consider yes class as positive class P and no class as negative class N. Try to understand. So how we can calculate the information gain? This is the formula by which you can calculate the information gain. So here we have to first calculate the information gain of this entire target class, or you can say of this entire system or on the entire data set, right? So how many number of yes and how many number of no's are there in case of target variable? Okay, that we will have to count. So total number of yes will be 9 and total number of no will be 5. Count it, total number of yes will be 9 and total number of no will be 5, right? So based on the same concept, we are going to calculate this value minus p divided by p plus n. P means positive numbers, number of yes, and n means negative classes, number of no. Okay, log 2 to the base 2 p divided by p plus n minus n divided by p plus n log 2 to the base 2 n divided by p plus n. So this is the formula by the help of which we are going to calculate entropy or information gain. The same formula, okay. That entropy formula will be applicable twice because there are two classes. Okay, this is the formula for only one class, general formula, and that formula will be applicable for twice because there are two classes. And there is one mistake. There should be one negative sign in front of the entropy. There should be one negative sign in front of the entropy. Okay, that I have shown in the PPT. This is the entropy formula. Okay, the negative sign should be there. Okay, so based on that, we are calculating the entropy for the two different classes. One is positive class, and another is negative class. And if we convert this p and n value with the current value of 9 and 5 of total number of yes and no, then it will look like this. Okay, and based on that, we will calculate the value of the entropy or information gain for the entire system or entire target class is 0.94. Agree? Anyone has any doubt up to this? Any confusion? Any doubt? The first technique that we will have to calculate the entropy of a system. So this session, a link ta ekhuni expire kore jabe. Everyone please log in the same link for the next session. Okay. So tell me, is anyone has any doubt up to this?